Good morning, family. This is Ricky, and welcome to Hope for Today. Happy Friday, everybody. God bless you, and have a good weekend. It's been a great week in the book of Jonah. We'll be in Jonah, I don't know. I think we'll close it out today, perhaps, as we crystallize what God's been doing in our hearts, in our studies, and in our devotions each and every morning. Praying that you have a good weekend. Really don't know what I'm up to this weekend. I feel like sushi. I also feel like barbecue, but there's no good barbecue in Southern California. Man, you can always make a steak at the house, but I'm trying to cut back on red meat. But I think what I'm going to do is go over to the View, it's a little resort restaurant over at the Hyatt Hotel and Resort here. They have an appetizer. It's coconut shrimp. It's tiger prawns, so they're huge. And of course, they're based in a little oil, kind of scampied, but then they put a coconut rich batter on it. So it becomes this sweet, crunchy, but also, kind of texture-ish kind of bite with the coconut that's been deep fried onto the shrimp. Gotta have some of that with some avocados and some guacamole and some chips. I just want to do something light and airy. Fruit salad, something like that. What are you eating? No, I have no reason to talk about food whatsoever, but it's what I do. Okay, God is a good God. One more lesson from the book of Jonah. We sing a song here that I'm going to sing in just a minute, but remember, Jonah's preached this bad sermon, short sermon from a bad heart, and it works. Chapter 3, verse 10 says, when God saw what they did, the Ninevites, how they turned from their evil way, God relented of the disaster that he had said he would do to them, and he did not do it. And of course, the lesson is how Jonah's angry about it, which shows that he had only repented with his hands and not with his heart. That in the whale, when he was praying, saying, God, I'm sorry, he was only saying, I'm sorry from the place so as to say, I realize I can't beat you, I can't outrun you, so I'll do what you want me to do. But can I get a witness that your Christianity, if you're not careful, could be something that you're doing with your hands, but not with your heart? And basically he says, I have to do what you want me to do, so I'm going to do it. But God saves all these people. And in chapter 4, the Bible says he was angry. And he says, Lord, this is why I didn't want to do it, because I knew you would save them. I knew you were long-suffering. I knew you were gracious and full of grace. And you saved my enemies, and I can't stand it. And the story goes on to say how God continues to pursue Jonah to not just have his hands, but to have his heart. And that's the good news today. Is that even when you are in a moment in your relationship with God where you're only staying with your spouse because you know you're supposed to, but not doing it from your heart. When you're being nice to your kid, not because you want to, but because you're supposed to. When you are stewarding your money well, not because you want to, because you're supposed to. How many of you know that the good news is that God is not satisfied and not done with you until he has not just your hands, but your heart? And as God sends a gourd after Jonah and a worm to eat up that gourd and to continue ministering to Jonah, saying, Lord, Jonah, don't you understand? It's 120,000 people that didn't know who I am. Would you not have me care for them? Is a wonderful metaphor of how no matter where you're at, no matter what the hardness of heart is, God does not ever give up on you. And that's what the book teaches us about, that when my heart is hard, God's love is still soft and comes after me until he wins me over. I don't know what you're eating this weekend, but make sure that you taste and see that the Lord is good. That's hope for today, y'all. Have a good weekend. I'll see you next time.